Hey everybody, Matt Ruddick here from Model Aviation magazine. We're going to talk about a brand new product that just dropped onto the market. This is the BeeBrain V2 from NewBeeDrone. Now, if you've been around the FPV world in the last year or so and are familiar with micro quadcopters, you're going to be familiar with the BeeBrain. The BeeBrain was the first flight controller to come out onto the market to bring beta flight to our micro brushless quadcopters like our Tiny Whoops and Inductrix space quadcopters. Well, this is their successor. This is the upgrade to V1. This is the BeeBrain V2. This is the full stack. You can get this in just the flight controller, or you can get the full stack. Let me tell you about some of the features of this thing. So we've upgraded to an F3 processor, which is going to give you tons more power and tons more speed when you're talking about your PID loop times. You're also going to have an upgraded gyro, so you're going to have a much more stable aircraft in the air. We also have a removable antenna with a UFL connector on the back. So they're selling this in a whole stack. So that means you're going to get a flight controller, you're going to get a video transmitter, as well as a camera. Let's talk a little bit about this video transmitter. It's a 40-channel video transmitter, scalable from 1 milliwatt up to 25 milliwatts, depending on what kind of an environment you're in. Sometimes you may want to fly 1 milliwatt versus 25. This also supports full Betaflight OSD. Now, I don't know about you, but this is the first time I've seen the full Betaflight OSD support in this kind of package. You'll be able to change your PID settings from there. You'll be able to change your VTX settings from there. You're going to have full access to Betaflight OSD like you have on your full-size quads. This is an absolute game changer for the micro brushless world. And sitting on top of this VTX is a brand new camera from NewBeeDrone. This is the BI camera. This is a 600 TV line camera with a 120-degree field of view lens sitting on a 20-degree mount. This camera is going to be pretty cool. This whole package is going to be pretty cool, especially at the weight that it comes in at, 9.5 grams. I know we're all pretty conscious about what weight our Tiny Whoops are flying at. Well, at 9.5 grams, this is going to be a really lightweight setup for everybody. Now, there are two different flavors of BeeBrain V2s that you can get. One that comes in a DSMX flavor for your Spectrum radios, and one that comes in Free Skies protocol, like I've got here. But the best part about this setup isn't the weight, isn't the new flight controller, isn't the new camera. The best part is the fact that it's completely solderless. That means when you go to install it on your frame, you're not going to have to solder a thing. All the pins are already there. It's plug and play. You plug your motors in, you screw it into the frame, and you're ready to fly. It's as easy as that. In fact, we're going to take a second here to put this together from scratch. We're going to find out how long it takes. Can I get a timer down there, please?
Right away, sir.
Thank you. Here we go. Let's get started. And done. Timer, what we got?
7:30, 8:49.
7 minutes, 30 seconds roughly. That's not too bad to build a complete Tiny Whoop, Acro Whoop, Inductrix-based micro quadcopter in under 8 minutes. That's pretty darn good. Didn't have to solder a thing. All I had to do was plug in a few plugs. Simple as that. Now the real question is, how well does this guy fly? Go ahead and put your battery in. Plug it in, and now we're ready to fly. Let's go find out how this thing handles in the air, shall we? So one thing that I've got to say first off is the responsiveness of this new board is pretty insane. NewBeeDrone did something really special that I forgot to mention earlier, but if you remember the first version of the BeeBrain, it was designed around PPM control. So there's quite a bit of latency between your stick input and the movement of the craft. So they've changed that with the BeeBrain V2. It's now running on all serial-based connections. So I'm running the FR Sky model, and it's running off of full S-Bus, and I can definitely tell. Every little bitty, tiny movement that I try to make, it's right there with me. And it's making for some really nice flying. The other thing that's worth talking about is the camera. There was a lot of talk when they first released this product that the BI camera, the name of the camera is the BI, that there was some light leakage and some ghosting going on. The version I have is actually from the second batch. And it looks like they've fixed that problem. I'm not seeing any ghosting, any shadows, any light leak. Looks like they definitely took care of that problem. And this is actually a pretty decent camera. I'm pretty happy with it. It's, you know, maybe not the best camera that I've ever used, but it's certainly not bad. But yeah, so overall, I'm really happy with this whole flight stack. You know, the inclusion of Betaflight OSD is just, I know I feel like I say this a lot, but it feels like a game changer on a micro setup. I'm used to having this on my 5-inch quads. I'm not used to having it on a tiny whoop. And being able to see exactly what my voltage is on these small 1S packs, it seems like such a simple thing, but it's just night and day difference when I'm trying to plan out my flight path. So there you have it. This is the NewBeeDrone BeeBrain V2 flight stack. This thing is a great product, especially if you're looking to get into these small micro brushless quadcopters, tiny whoop style aircraft, that kind of thing. But you don't want to get into having to do all the soldering and the building, and you want to get something in the air quickly. Completely plug and play. They've made some great advancements with this thing too, adding in the serial port connections for the radios, all the latency that you're used to having with the old BeeBrain, completely gone. Controls fantastically in the air. And the Betaflight OSD, completely game-changing for me. Being able to see what my voltage is on these little packs, not falling out of the air anymore. It's fantastic. NewBeeDrone.com. The flight stack runs for about $79.99. It's a fantastic product. I can't recommend it enough. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions or comments about the BeeBrain V2. And until next time, we'll see you later.